Mahadeva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Is this audio video okay?
Mahadev Swamiji. Okay, Swamiji.
Let's begin. Om. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Sarvopaplavarahitaha prajnanakhanah Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om. Vedantartha vibhasakaya gurave Shantaya sannyasine Nanavadi nagendra sanghapavaye Yogindra vandyaya cha Mohadvanta divakaraya Bhagavad padabhidham Bibhrate Tasmai bhashyakrite namostu satatam Purnaya bodhatmane. Om. Yudhyasva vigatajvaraha. Fight your battle. Not under the pressure or not under a psychology which is ill, which is under the feverish feeling of life, not under that. So having said that much, Bhagavan Shri Krishna further says in verse number 31, Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha Shraddhavanto nasuyanto muchyante tepi karmabhihi. Ye me matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha Shraddhavanto nasuyanto muchyante tepi karmabhihi. Ye me matamidam anutishtanti nityam anutishtanti manavaha. Ye manavaha idam me matam nityam anutishtanti te shraddhavantaha anasuyantaha karmabhihi apimuchyante. This is the big, what do they call, rearrangement of the shloka, Anvaya. So what is that? Those people, those, obviously, Manavaha. Manava means human beings. And that is why over here, this is not meant only for a special community or specific people of certain geographical region or some people of a particular time. This happens to be applicable to all the people around all the three periods of time. So te manavaha, as long as you're human beings, you have the capacity to evolve spiritually, to make your evolution possible. Te manavaha. Then the second thing about these people is shraddhavantaha, that they have this faith. Shraddha, faith. We will look at the meaning of all these words, but this is the word meaning of the shloka. Shraddha, they are endowed with shraddha. Okay. Anasuyantaha. And then they have this quality that when they discover something good, they do not have the habit of unnecessarily slandering it. Gune, what is asuya? This word anasuya has come from with a prefix, a negative prefix, an and asuya. Asuya means that disposition of a person or psychology of a person where guneshu, who were in certain good qualities and virtues of a person to the other fellow, when he suspects and tries to label it as something bad. So that is called as asuya. That guneshu dosha vishkaranam is called as asuya. So who are these people? They are basically, obviously, people means human beings, shraddhavantaha. And each one of us has this quality of shraddha. Because without you having certain belief, not everything is verified by you at this moment, and yet your transactions can be carried out. You know, when you are going to board a plane or a train or a bus, or you sit in a car, you have this faith that I'm going to reach my destination. There could be several things that can happen in between. There can be an accident, there can be a traffic jam, there could be something else, or you may even lose life, there could be robbery. There are 101 things which are possible in between, and so there is the chance of, the slip between the cup and the lip is always going to be there. But there is the shraddha, and you conduct yourself, all of us conduct ourselves in this world with the shraddha. So there is, faith plays a great role. Belief plays a great role. As much as knowledge is important, we do not discredit having belief. You cannot discredit anyone just because it is a belief. It does carry. So Shraddha has its own role to play in life, as much as knowledge has its role to play in life. And when it comes to the knowledge of liberation, Shraddha is the prelude because of which the knowledge can take place. Shraddha is the prelude to knowledge. But Shraddha cannot be a replacement to knowledge. That is also true. Shraddha can lead you to knowledge. Having belief can lead you to knowledge. And only when your faith or belief helps you to come to knowledge, then that faith, belief can be called as Shraddha. Otherwise, sometimes the Shraddha or the faith or the belief systems that we have can become an impediment to the process of knowledge. Can prevent a person from knowing. There is a very, very, very interesting story that goes in, one of the earlier books. So the names are also very interesting. So there was one king, and he had a minister who outwitted all the other people from the court. So he kind of had won the king's heart, faith, confidence. And this was obviously the reason for other people in the court to feel jealous about this other man. His name was Bharchu. The name seems to be very interesting. And by that name, I sometimes feel maybe this story must have originated somewhere in Gujarat, like Bharchu Bhai. Yeah? So Bharchu. And so there was this Bharchu, who he happened to be the king's minister and a pet minister on whom the king relied very much. Now, there were people who wanted to have him dead. So they plotted against him by making him an emissary to the neighboring kingdom, and on the way they plotted him to be killed. But somehow this man escaped, and now he knew that going back to the kingdom or to his own place would definitely mean that he would die. And therefore he chose to remain in the forest and practice some asceticism, tapa, practice kiya. As a result, the people, the forest dwellers and people from outside the forest where, small little hamlets were there and villages were there, they started visiting him because they said that there is a saint, a siddha, who lives in the forest, and he has solution to our problems. Obviously, of course, this man was intelligent, and so he was able to suggest them, give them good advice. And so they kept coming to him, and slowly, there was a number of people who came to Bharchu. Now he looked like an ascetic with jata on the head and, the beard grown, living in the forest under the banyan tree, so on and so forth. Bharchu was living in the forest with just one expectation, that he knew that the king would come to him. And once when the king comes, he would reveal that he is Bharchu and how he was plotted to be killed. But he could not do that by going back to the kingdom. So he chose to stay over there. People came, and this news somehow reached the king's ears that there is some siddha meaning a yogi who is accomplished. An accomplished yogi who lives in the forest. And so the king was also very keen on going and having the darshan, seeing this Mahatma. So the other people in the court, other ministers, they somehow conducted a little survey, a little, what do they call, their inspection. And the report that came to them was, this man, this ascetic, looks like Bharchu. Maybe Bharchu, who the news that came to us that Bharchu died must not be true, because he seems to have got escaped and is living as an ascetic over there. So these people now became little more alert, and they went to the king and they said, we have heard that virtue who died in the forest has become a ghost, and he lives in the forest, and the people that he sees, he pounces and kills them. Pounces upon them and kills them. So this was told to the king. So the king's mind was already polluted by the other people. Once when the king had gone to the forest for hunting or whatever these people in those days would do, Bharshu thought this is a good opportunity to present himself in front of the king. And he appeared in front of the king with those matted locks and, wearing some, langot and things like that with ash on the body, The king thought this is Bharshu's ghost. And Bharshu kept on calling the king, saying that, listen to this, what I have to say. But the king turned his back on the horse and he went away, saying that no, he would not return to the forest because there is Bharshu is dead, and this is Bharshu's bhoot, his ghost. Why I'm telling you this story is because when our minds are already prejudiced, because there are various systems of faith and belief which may even become an impediment to the process of knowledge, making a person very, very obstinate. So Shraddha should open you to the process of knowledge, to the process of questioning. When Shraddha alone is made, as the theologians of various parts of this world have always made Shraddha as their prime thing, that's not true. Shraddha is very important, but that faith becomes Shraddha only when it takes you to knowledge. So over here, Shri Krishna says, Shraddhavantaha anasuyantaha. And when they now have found that this is good, उसमें दोष नहीं देखते, दोषाविष्करण नहीं करते. Guneshu doshaavishkaranam is called as asuya. Anasuya means free from this kind of the habit. And so, te muchyante, tepi muchyante. They also get liberated. They also get liberated. They also attain liberation. Muchyante. From what? Karma bhihi. From the pasha, from the noose, from the snare of karma. Okay? From the snare of karma. And it is very difficult to know what karma, when is it going to fructify, bringing what kind of results, is a very difficult thing. But they become free from this karma, and this karma alone is responsible to give birth after birth and life after life, and every time from birth to death. It simply means what we have seen even before: garbha dukkham, janma dukkham, then what do they call it? Sanyoga dukkham, viyoga dukkham, jara dukkham, mrityu dukkham. So it is just a incessant flow of suffering, sometimes more and sometimes less. That is all that the difference is. So now becomes free from this cycle of karma, from the chains, from the shackles of karma. Who are those people? Yeme matam. That what I have just, this is my opinion. Now, though the word opinion has been used, we will see what exactly it is. It is not somebody's, just a personal opinion. Yeme matamidam nityam anutishtanti. Those who follow, those who live by the knowledge that I have just imparted. And what was that knowledge that he has imparted? The first thing about it is that karma should be done. instead of escaping the karma, karma should be done. The second thing about it is that they let your karma follow the righteousness. The third thing about it is, even if when you're living a righteous life, let this righteous living be understood as your worship of Ishvara, as your offering service to Ishvara. And with everything, always, whatever is happening through the body, mind, and speech, because these are the three modes of doing karma: the body, mind, and speech. Whatever is happening, then let that be in accordance to dharma. What you speak, how much you speak, how you speak, and is it in resonance with dharma? Dharma meaning the cardinal values of life. Those are the universal values. Those are not just values because, some geographical, religious or communal values. No, these are the values which are universal. Satyam, ahimsa, etc. These values are universal. No matter where you are, at what point of time you're living, Satyam will be respected. Well, but then, because we are like this and that's why we should wear this kind of clothes. That is regional. If you are going to say we should only wear cotton clothes, you go to some very cold part of the country, can you just be wearing cotton and living? You won't be even able to live. The person will be mummified. So values like these could be geographical, could be religious, could be about a community. But the values which are based on satyam, ahimsa, brahmacharyam, etc., these then asteyam, all these values are universal. These are universal, cardinal values. So when our actions are in accordance, in resonance with these values, then the third thing is to live a life which is righteous and understand this righteousness. This is the only way to worship Ishvara, by doing your own, playing your own role. Okay? Ye me matamidam. So this is my matam about how the karma should be done. Now, though this is matam, but is it matam or is it a presentation of a fact that karma should be done without doing the karma? A living person has got no other way but to perform karma. He cannot say, I'm going to stand still. Even his standing still and refusing to even move his little finger is also an effort, and that becomes karma. So there is no escape from karma. When karma is inevitable, then how to do is the question. How to do that which is in accordance with righteousness, dharma, in resonance with dharma. And then what should be your attitude even when you're doing it? Oh my God, this is a punishment, and I would like to do something else, but I have to do that. No, don't cry. Don't make it a drudgery. Make it a celebration, because every opportunity that you have to do karma, whether you're talking, walking, listening, or doing anything that is understood as service to Ishvara. And so when this is the way by which a person will be able to pave his path of evolution. Yeme matam. So this is the matam of Sri Krishna. And this Sri Krishna's matam is not a matam of a person who was of a particular period of time. No, applicable to all and everyone everywhere. Yeme matamidam nityam anutishtanti manavaha. And therefore those people who live by that, always live by that, nityam anutishtanti, tepi muchyante karmabhihi. They also will be freed from karma, from this pasha, the bondage of karma. Let us see how. The commentary part. Yeme matam mama matam karma kartavyam iti sapramana muktam. Now he has explained for a great length in this third chapter itself that how the karma should be done, why it should be done. A person who is a mumukshu also needs to do the karma. But when he becomes qualified only to follow the path of knowledge, when he is not even motivated, wavered by any other desire for putra, vitta and loka, now that he is free from those desires, only he has the desire that let me be free. Let me be free. And that desire for moksha now is no longer suppressed by other desires. Then he does karma sannyasa and follows only shravana manana nididhyasanam. So now karma kartavyam iti sapramanam uktam. So this, it has been said, explained, shown to you, made evident through the appropriate pramanas. It is sapramanam uktam tat tatha. And therefore, yeme madiyam matam nityam anutishtanti. Now this is the Sri Krishna's matam. When you say law of Newton, it is not that Newton is some historical person. Newton has made this law. Okay? Theory of relativity, Einstein's. It is not that he created it. Similarly, it is just as that is a presentation of a fact, like that, this matam is Ishvara's matam, means it is the presentation of a fact. This is how it is. Nityam yeme madiyam matam nityam anutishtanti. Anutishtanti means anuvartante, having understood, follow it up. Having understood. Why do we don't follow something? Not because that we simply don't want to follow it, because we are not convinced, and we are not convinced because we don't know it properly. Once when you know this is a live wire, you do not go and fiddle with it. One is not going to go and put his finger into the socket. Why? Because that knowledge is very clear. It is dangerous. I can't do this. We know that, we should follow Satyam in life. And yet we are not able to do this. Because you have really not understood very clearly. One has not known. And so therefore, it is not a question of, we have to follow, we have now known and we have to now follow. No, sir. Following will happen only if you understand something very, very clearly. If you understand that, how that resorting to asatyam or resorting to himsa in any form is detrimental, is harmful, is dangerous, you're not going to do that. You don't need to be told. Force will be there as long as you don't understand, and not understanding means that itself is immaturity. Because what is the sign of maturity? An understanding person. Similarly, over here, Anutishtanti means anuvartante. Anu means following. Following what? Having understood, they follow. Anuvartante. They know, and that's why they follow. Anuvartante manavaha manushyaha. This word manushya means manasa sivyati iti manushyaha. Those who are able to stitch two pieces together through their understanding are called as manushyaha. You know, we are attached to each other. What? Is there any physical rope that keeps us bound? No. Manasa, only by mind. It is the string of mind which binds us together. Even when you understand the cause and effect, some cause must have taken place several thousands and millions of years ago. Its effect is seen now, but you are able to understand this is the cause, this is the effect, and relate it, put it together. So this understanding by thought, which you are able to stitch them together, this ability is there with the manushyas, and that in human beings, and hence they are called as manushyaha. So manavaha, those who are the santan, the progeny of Manu, Shraddhavantaha, Manushyaha, Shraddhavantaha. Shraddhavantaha means Shraddhadhanaha. What does that mean? Those who are endowed with Shraddha. Shraddhadhanaha means endowed with Shraddha. So Anandagiri Acharya explains this word Shraddhadhana as Shastra Acharya Upadishte Adrishtarthe Vishwasavatvam Shraddhadhanatvam. What is Shraddhadhanatvam? From where did we bring the word Shraddhadhana? From wanting to explain Shraddhavantaha. Vantaha is plural. Shraddhavan is the singular. Shraddhavan. Vatu pratyaya, etc. Vatu matu is used when one has to say like wala. Sabzi wala, paise wala. In Mumbai there are this daru wala also. Daru wala, batli wala. Like that. Shraddha wala. Sanskrit mein kya kahenge? Shraddhavan. Its plural will become Shraddhavantaha. And that is explained as Shraddhadhanaha. Endowed with Shraddha. Now, those who are endowed with Shraddha, with this faith. And what is that Vishwasa? What is that belief? Now, this is purely the Kshetra. This is the Kshetra, meaning the field of belief. I have explained this even several times, even to people, that, we are sitting over here without any worry that there is, with this faith that this ceiling is not going to collapse on the head. And that is your Shraddha. That is your Shraddha. And hence you are able to conduct all various functions and transactions and meaningful transactions, fruitful transactions in life because of Shraddha. Again, I'm saying that Shraddha is not a replacement to knowledge. Shraddha can become your path to knowledge. Because you have certain Shraddha in the Upanishad, and when the Upanishad says Atma is Brahman, and your experience is that I am Karta Bhokta, I am this experiencer, I am this doer, I am this small little individual, maybe this body-mind complex. And so this is your experience, and this is what the Upanishad says. When you have certain faith in Upanishad, you accept that there is this Atma is Brahman, against you, going against your experience too. So Shraddha has a great weight. It can give direction to your life. Now, because you have Shraddha, you have accepted it. But now, because of this Shraddha, you have a question. How is it possible that this Atma is Brahman? Why were you able to ask this question? Because you have Shraddha in the Upanishad. If you did not have Shraddha in the Upanishad, you would have said, come on, stop that. That's just nonsense. And you could have gone living your own life as, what do they call, living as this shoddy little man who's struggling to have his ego and prestige issues and with his complexes. So how were you able to even for a moment able to accept, well, Atma must be Brahman, and going against your experience, this is the power of Shraddha. So now when you are able to questioning means doubting, which means that it is opening up your doors to knowledge. So having Shraddha was the reason why you were able to question. Just have Shraddha and that's all, you don't need knowledge. No, sir. And therefore, this perpetual war between this religious community, the theists and the atheists and the scientific community never happened here in India. Because knowledge was not pitched against faith and faith was not pitched against knowledge. Don't wonder why people like Galileo and mathematicians and scientists, people who were interested in various fields of knowledge, were not going to stake over here in India? Because knowledge and faith was never ever at loggerheads. So now we have, that's why I'm saying, when will you be able to call faith and belief as Shraddha? Is only when it leads you to knowledge, to questioning. And to question, you require a lot of courage. And that courage means it is even going against your own experience. Going against your own experience. And therefore, Shraddhanaha anasuyantaha asuyam cha mai paramagurau vasudeve akurvantaha. And how are these people? That they do not have any asuya. I just explained the word asuya to you. Guneshu dosha vishkaranam asuya. And anasuya means this negative particle an is also prefixed in English to happy, unhappy, like that. Anasuya, they're free from this asuya. Api, they also, such people who follow what I have just explained and live the righteous life in the spirit of Karma Yoga, they also attain liberation. They also attain freedom from what? Karma bhihi dharma dharmakhyahi. The phalam of dharma is sukham. No doubt, it is sukham. But that sukham is also short-lived. Short in the sense, it has its limitation. Though you may go and live in a celestial world, heavenly world, but when that punya finishes, you will have to be born again in this mortal world. Do the karma, and if you don't do the punya karma this time, the result will not be swarga. At this time, it will be some Nicha Yoni, as an animal or an insect or something like that, a despicable condition of life where this knowledge remains so distant that it is impossible. Okay? Over there, what is the knowledge? There is just the knowledge of reproduction and survival. That's all, the knowledge of survival. Whether it is survival of your own body or survival of the genes and species, just the knowledge of survival will be there, but knowledge of liberation will not be there. And therefore, dharma dharma khyaihi karma bhihi muchyante te api muchyante. To which now Ramaraya Kavi says that muchyante means what? Te api ityadina jnana yogina muktihi avivada iti suchyate. Now he says that by using this word api, also, api means also, by using this word also, Shri Krishna has already indicated something very, very important, that those who are jnana yogis, they are liberated, because knowledge liberates, that's one thing. But those who are karma yogi also, they are liberated. And how is a karma yogi liberated? Krama mukti. Eventually, through this karma yoga, that mind will become purified. Such purified mind is the right receptacle to the knowledge, and thus when the mind is pure and the knowledge takes place, sadhyo mukti, immediately at that very moment, jnana samakala mukti will take place. Te api ityadina jnana yogina muktihi avivada iti suchyate. Now, न कर्मणाम अनारंभात इत्यारभ्य मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि इत्यन्तेन ग्रंथेन. Now, evam, what is it? Me matam, my opinion. This is my opinion. But by opinion, it does not mean it is his hypothesis, it is his suggestion. It means this is a fact as I see. As I see. So me matam. And where do you find this me matam? Me means not month of May. Me means mine. Shashti. Not mama matam. Na karmanam anarambhat iti arabhya. When Shri Krishna has begun his discourse, and that discourse from where? From this particular shloka. Na karmanam anarambhat. Up to Mayi Sarvani Karmani. Up to this point, iti antena granthena mumukshoho avashyam mokshatam ishwararpana buddhya karma kartavyam. Therefore, a mumukshu, the one who is desirous of moksha, such a person should, desirous of liberation, such a person should avashyam karma kartavyam. He should definitely do the karma. Karma kartavyam. But how? Ishwararpana buddhya. With the understanding, with the faith that this is my offering to Ishvara. Okay? Mama matam iti nishchitya. So this is Shri Krishna's teaching. Okay, matam over here means teaching. This is Shri Krishna's teaching. Iti nishchitya. So we also have understood definitely with certainty that this is what is Shri Krishna's teaching about karma. Nishchitya Shri Bhagavan Swamatanusarino ye te mukta bhavishyanti. And then over here, Shri Krishna has explained, Bhagavan has explained that those who follow these teachings, they will be liberated. Yetu viparitakarinah, and those who reject it and those who don't follow it, and follow what then? They follow adharma. They follow adharma. Oh, what is that? There's nothing. Everybody has to look for his own survival, and therefore there is nothing wrong in surviving like this. If that survival means that you have to harm others, let's harm them. And that survival, for some people, survival means their fulfillment of ambitions, and ambitions which are so perverted that they do not even look back or think again before destroying others. So that is not the thing. Mama matam nishchitya te viparitakarinah. And how are these people? Therefore, those who do not follow these teachings of Shri Krishna, that life should be the life of righteousness, A, B, and that righteousness means it is meant not just because you have some desires to fulfill, but because it is the way in which Ishvara is worshipped. So, and therefore those who reject this, both these ideas, viparitakarinah te vinakshanti iti. Vinakshanti means they are destroyed. So these two things are presented to us in verse number 31 and 32. So we have already seen verse number 31. Mai jagat guru tam kurvantaha kintu shraddhavantaha tatra shraddham bhaktincha kurvantaha santaha anutishtanti samanuvartante matshasanam anullamya ye nityam karma kurvanti ityarthaha. So this teaching, which is the instruction without what do they say, faltering, that in faltering, what do they say? Ullanghan. What is the right word for ullanghan in English? But flaunting. No, not flaunting.
Breaching.
Flouting.
Breaching.
और एक
उल्लंघन किया, किसी चीज का आप उल्लंघन करते हैं.
Transgressing.
Yeah.
To transgress. Right. Without transgressing, they always follow the karma kurvanti. They perform their karma. Te sattva shuddhya. And so now Shankaranandaji explains, te sattva shuddhya nirvikara atmajnanam prapya. Then because their antakaranam has become so pure, they attain atmajnanam. And what is that atmajnanam? Nirvikaram, that the self that I am is without any name and form or any attributes, is pure consciousness in which all the names and forms appear. Where are the names and forms and attributes and time and space appearing? There, where there is no name, no form, no time, no space. In that consciousness. And therefore, by that virtue, what do you understand? Something is seen exactly there where it is not. Then what is it called? Mithya eva. In this I, how much time does it take for you to reach I, the self? And therefore for time and for space, you require 2 points. Point A to point B can be said in time or in terms of space. Delhi to Rishikesh can be said in how many hours you can reach, or it can be said how many kilometers it is. But for time and space, you require 2 points. I am in this, which is the second point. And therefore there is no point, there is no time, no space in the self. The self is free from names and forms, or even any attributes. And therefore, this is what is the nature of the consciousness, in which there is the names and forms, time and space is all seen exactly like the rope is that where there is no snake in all the three periods of time. And the snake is seen in the rope, covering the rope. And therefore, what is the status of this snake? Only an appearance. So also all this time, space, names and forms is an appearance in this consciousness. That consciousness is what is the meaning of this I. So they attain this knowledge. This is the direct experience, doubtless. So nirvikaratma jnanam prapya. And how? Because of sattva shuddhi, because of the purification of mind. Sattva shuddhi means where the raja and tamo guna do not pollute, contaminate the understanding anymore. Desires or any kind of bhranti meaning delusion, does not obstruct the knowledge. And therefore, sattva shuddhya nirvikara atmajnanam prapya karma bhihi punya lakshanaihi nana dukkha hetubhihi sanchitadi bhihi muchyante. They are free from karma. What is that? Sanchitadi bhihi. Sanchita karma means which is already accumulated, but it has yet not fructified. It is in gestation. That karma is that karma phala which is still in gestation is sanchita karma. Agami karma means after the knowledge, whatever happens through this body is called as agami karma. Kriyamana karma. Kriyamanam karma. And then prarabdha karma. Prarabdha means where that certain karma phala from the sanchita is already now fructified, and fructified as this body. And therefore, whatever this body is going to undergo, the various experiences of joys and sorrows, etc. over here now is called as prarabdha. So what happens because of this knowledge now? Dukkha hetubhihi karma bhihi muchyante. That karma bhihi means sanchitadi bhihi. From sanchita, agami and prarabdha karma. Through all this, he becomes free. Becomes free, is freed. Who are such people? Those who do the karma in accordance with the teachings that I have imparted, without with the faith, endowed with faith, and free from that defect, or free from the habit of finding defects even in that what is perfect. Over there, so that is called as anasuya. So those who are endowed with faith and who are free from asuya, when they do this karmanusthana, as I have told, they also become free. Viparyaye dandamaha. And when this is not the case, and in fact the opposite case, what happens? Viparyaya. In when it is not like this, in fact opposed to this, viparyaya. Dandamaha, when this is not the case, the person refuses to do the karma or not follow the righteousness, doesn't look upon it as Ishvara's worship. So they will obviously be deprived from what? From from sattva shuddhi. In fact, the sattva will go on becoming more and more malina, will go on becoming more and more impure. So they will be only casting more and more impurities in their heart. And as a result, they will be always prodded, they implored, pushed by their vasanas into the papa karma. As a result, they will fall into those nicha yonis, and thus losing this golden opportunity to freedom, and continue into this life of suffering as anything, as whether human beings, celestial beings, or even the nicha yoni, meaning the lower forms of life, animals and insects and things like that. Not they, that is the, so who has given them this danda? It is not Shri Krishna who is angry with them. They have brought it to themselves. So Shri Krishna is not saying that, I'm angry at you and that's why I will punish you. No, this punishment is not a punishment given. It comes because this is the natural order of life. Okay. And therefore, yetu avivekinaha. In the next shloka, that is what we are going to see. Let us read the shloka and we will see its meaning when we meet for the next class. Ye tve tadabhyasuyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimudhanstan vidhi nashtana chetasaha. Ye tve tadabhyasuyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarvajnana vimudhanstan vidhi nashtana chetasaha. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Tomorrow morning, being the last Saturday, we will have the question and answer sessions. Those who have anything to ask, and if I can answer, I will definitely. Thank you very much. Hanji?
Swamiji, I've sent a question on your WhatsApp.
I will check that.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.